Unit 6, Lesson 16, Interpreting Inequalities. I can match an inequality to a situation that it represents, solve it, and then explain what the solution means in the situation. If I have a situation and an inequality that represents it, I can explain what the parts of the inequality mean in the situation. So for each inequality, find the value or values of x that make it true. Graph the number on the number line if you are stuck. So I'm going to start by subtracting 24 on each side. Then I'm going to divide by 8 on each side. So x is less than or equal to 4. All right, I'm going to draw a closed dot on 4. And I'm going to draw my arrow this direction because it's all the numbers that are less than or equal to 4. All right, for this one, I need to actually distribute first. So 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times negative x is minus 7x is greater than 56. Then I'm going to subtract 49 on each side. Left with negative 7x is greater than 7. Then I'm going to divide by negative 7 on each side of my inequality. Now when I divide by that negative number, I have to flip the direction of my inequality. So I want to make sure we understand that I have to flip the direction of the inequality. So 7 divided by negative 7 is negative 1. So I'm going to have an open dot on negative 1. And x is less than negative 1. A garden club is planting fruit trees in their school's garden. There is one large tree, so that's important to notice, one large tree that needs 5 pounds of fertilizer. The rest of the newly planted trees need a half a pound of fertilizer each. So that tells me that's where the variable is going, is the 1/2 and then the x. Then I know that I have one tree that just needs 5. Okay, so now it says I need to choose which inequality makes sense in this situation. So I know that the 1/2 and the x have to go together, so I can eliminate D and I can eliminate A. 25 must represent the rest of, must represent all the fertilizer. So I'm going to need to have less than or equal to 25 pounds of fertilizer. A chemistry club is experimenting with different mixtures of water with a certain chemical to make fake snow. To make each mixture, the students start with the same amount of water and then add 1/7 of that chemical. Right there, it tells me that's where the variable is going. 1/7 of that chemical. So 1/7 x plus something. Then 9 more grams of the chemical. So plus 9. The chemical is expensive, so there can't be more than a certain number of grams of the chemical in any one mixture. So I want to use less than or equal to. Okay, and I don't really know what's going to be over here. Can't quite figure that out. So I'm going to look at my answer choices. I can eliminate B because it's the 1/7 x of told me to multiply. I can eliminate C, so now I'm down to A and D. Well, I know that I'm adding the 9 because it says 9 more grams. So that means it has to be A, so I can eliminate D. A hiking club is on a hike down a cliff. They begin at an elevation of 12 feet, and then they descend at a rate of 3 feet per minute. Well, that per right there tells me that's where the variable is going. They started at 12, and then they descended, so they went down. And then, so I've got to look at my options. So I know the 3 and the x have to go together, so that eliminates A, and that eliminates D. I also know that I I'm doing 12 because that's where I'm starting, and then I'm going down. So it has to be C. A science club is researching boiling points. They learn at high altitudes, water boils at lower temperatures. At sea level, water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. With each increase of 500 feet in elevation, boiling water is lowered by 1 degree. So I know each 500 feet in elevation. So I know the 500 and the x have to go together. Okay? I also know that it's lowering. So I start at 212 and I'm subtracting that. And it doesn't mean 500x, it means that it's lowered about 1 degree. So I'm going to do 1 over. So I know that I have to have the 1 over 500e, so that means I'm eliminating C and D. And I know I'm starting at 212 because that's the starting point, and then it decreases from there. So my answer should be A. So then it says, when a store had sold 2/5 of the shirts that were on display, they brought another 30 from the stockroom. The store likes to keep at least 150 shirts on display. The manager wrote the inequality 3/5 x plus 30 is greater than or equal to 150 to describe the situation. So what does 3/5 in the inequality mean? That the manager wanted 3/5 of the total shirts on the sales floor. When a store had 2/5 of the shirts that were on display, they brought out another 30. So the store likes to keep at least 150 shirts on display. So the manager wrote the inequality 3/5 x plus 30 is greater than or equal to 150 to describe the situation. So what does the solution mean in this situation? So I have 3/5 x plus 30 is greater than or equal to 150. So I'm going to subtract 30 on each side. And I'm left with 120 is greater than or equal to 3/5 x. So then I'm going to multiply by 3/5 on each side. Sorry, not multiply. Divide by 3/5 on each side. So when I put it in my calculator, I'm going to put in 0.6. So 120 divided by 0.6. And I'm left with 200. So x is greater than or equal to 200. So in this case, the store manager had 200 of that type of shirt. We're at the store. $200 or more, I should say. All right, so now you're going to do your cool down. So you have your party decorations. It says Andre is making paper cranes to decorate for a party. He plans to make one large paper crane for a centerpiece and several smaller paper cranes to put around the table. It takes Andre 10 minutes to make the centerpiece and 3 minutes to make each small crane. He will only have 30 minutes to make the paper cranes once he gets home. So I'm asking you to solve the inequality and explain what the solution means. If you have questions or you need help, I hope to see you on Calendly. Have a great day.